Good morning, curling fans, and welcome to the final day of the Gouden Carolus Classic 2023. We are deep down in the knockout stages, and today we will have some exciting matches for you. Today we have the semifinals between Team Verreycken and Puigcerda Carlit, and then on the other semifinals we have upcoming talents, the Housekeepers, and they are facing Puigcerda Carlit, the miraculous steal of 4 there, and Team Verreycken, they are playing the Swiss team, Hene Schnupp, and that's the one we are going to stream. But before we go into the game, I am welcoming my co-caster Gerry here, tournament director. So everything organized here this weekend is basically on the shoulder of this man here. Gerry, how are you liking the tournament so far?
Yeah, it's going well, and obviously everything that goes wrong is on my shoulders. And it's been pretty intense because we've been playing some matches as well this weekend, and fortunately a lot of good supporting staff in the bar. The guys helping out with the ice, so that takes a lot of the load off. But it's been a pretty hefty couple of weeks. As you guys know, you've been here from the crack of dawn until when we're closing up. So long days, but it's good fun, and getting a lot of rewards back from the teams as well with good comments. So it's all good.
Yeah, if it leads to good games and it leads to a great finale, then it's all worthwhile. And I think also teams have shown that the ice is great here in Zems. It's speedy, it also curls a lot. You put an effort on sanding the stones right before the tournament. We've seen teams struggle with that a bit, that are not used to stones curling that much, but that makes the games all the more interesting.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of funny ones, funny ends last night in the match, right? People getting the curl right and all the rocks ending up on one side of the sheet.
Indeed. It felt like the arena here was kind of tilted to one side at some point.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, the teams that are out on tour, they're really used to that. They're setting out the stones to kind of counteract the curl a little bit in the beginning, and they get round to it. But if it's getting up to 5 feet of curl plus, and then you don't have a lot of handle, then or you're not hitting the broom, then you kind of get that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah. Let's have a quick peek at the standings so far. So we are in the knockout phase. We are right in the straight line towards the gold medal game. And we can see these are the remaining teams in the tournament. A Swiss team, a Spanish team, basically a Catalonian team, and 2 Belgium teams. I think a lot of foreign teams here this weekend. That's always nice for a Bonspiel if you kind of bring in people from different countries, kind of the Nordic, Scandinavian countries, but also in the South Spain. I think that's pretty nice to have teams join up.
Absolutely. You probably mentioned it on the stream before, but I think 9 out of the 16 teams are from abroad. So that's always very nice. It makes it, because obviously the Belgian teams, they're used to playing each other. Mm-hmm. Getting a lot of foreign teams in is makes for a nice mix. And especially you get a couple of first-time visitors to Zems. So that's a good one as well.
Yeah. And also in the knockouts, we have 5 foreign teams reaching the knockouts versus just 3 Belgium teams. I think that's also nice to have kind of a nice colored bracket there instead of all the Belgian flags. And we hope that they perform pretty well and they have a home base watching the games. Was there any team that surprised you? The Spanish teams or the Swiss teams was kind of unknown factor for us. Did you had any kind of history or background on these teams?
No, I mean, with some of these teams, it's kind of hard to kind of gauge. But I mean, always knew that the Swiss team was going to be strong, but they've kind of surpassed my expectations a little bit. So I mean, if I'm truthful, what we're going to be seeing today really is almost, if you look at the whole playing field, I think you could say it's more like a final than a semi-final. Would you agree?
I would agree indeed. We were really looking forward, and we were kind of hoping. We didn't had Hene Schnupp on stream during the group stage, so we were really happy that they were on stream for the semi-final, also facing Team Verreycken. So a kind of high-stakes game, 2 very powerful teams knocking and fighting over those over the spot in the big finale. If you had to make a prediction, who is going to be the winner of this game? I know John texted me, he was going for Team Verreycken, the Belgian men's national team. Would you agree with that, or do you counterpick his?
Well, I mean, we haven't got the standard lineup with Team Verreycken, right? I guess we'll talk about that in a moment. But and I've seen Hene Schnupp being the strongest in their morning games till now. I think it's fair to say. So if I could sit on the fence, I would, and I don't want to get and I don't want to go against my my good buddies. But I'm thinking Hennes, if they've played like they've been playing, they got a very slight edge, but it's really minimal.
Yeah.
We might even go and see an extra end here.
Yeah, could be. Well, I'm going to take your advice on that, and I'm going to counterpick John. Maybe Hene Schnupp is the dark horse of this tournament, coming in kind of fairly unknown to a lot of people in here. Not been on stream, so no opportunity for the opponents to kind of scout him rewatching the games, so they could surprise now and show their full strength on camera. And they are well on their way into this first end. So I think I will hop to the sheet here, see what the current situation in the house is at this moment. All right. Team Verreycken against Hene Schnupp. First semi-final of this tournament. And on the C sheet, we of course have the Desperate Housekeepers playing against the Puigcerda Carlits. They won their quarterfinal by a miraculous steal of 4 in the last end yesterday against Euromix. That was something we kind of catched on the side there.
Yeah, so if we talk about the lineup today, Team Verreycken is actually minus Verreycken. So Timo sitting this one out, and we've got Hene, my doubles partner, actually coming in at second and skipping the team.
So basically, it's not Team Verreycken, but Team Spreut today. But it's like the case with Rachel Homan. Even when she's not playing, it's still Team Homan. The team branding is important.
There you go, and quite a few rocks around to start off with. When we played Hennes yesterday, it was take out for the first game. Kind of feeling it chat around, but that doesn't seem to be the case here, right?
I think we have 2 Yellowstones in the house.
Looking at the situation, it looks like we've missed a couple of missed takeouts there. Team Verreycken sporting their new jackets. I guess you talked about that before in the stream this week.
Yes, indeed. The new hoodies with the gold inline.
So you got in Canada, you get a lot of teams, especially in the mixed doubles. They play with hoodies, but it's like regular sweatshirt hoodies, right? These are like the soft shell thing with a hoodie. I'm not sure if I'm convinced yet, but I'm sure it'll grow on me. And Hene, of course, still sporting the previous style. But we're not here to talk about fashion, right? So.
But yeah, I think it's quite nice to see teams having some attention to their team wear, and the hoodies look a bit more baggy, of course, compared to the regular shirts.
Yeah, but that was also, I mean, the previous one were tight fits, and especially, I mean, when I coached them at the World Mix last year, I have one of their previous styles, and especially the sleeves were super short and not all that comfortable. So I guess that was one of the reasons for swapping out there as well. Okay, down to the last of skip stones for Hene Schnupp.
And
I think they wanted to roll in there now, because just straight takeout is not doing anything for that rock, staying outside of the house.
yeah, an opportunity here for Team Verreycken to immediately open this semi-final with 3 points on the board. All they need is a draw in the 8 foot, even 12 foot. I don't think Red is not in the house. So basically a draw in the house sets them up for a 3-ender here.
Yeah, there goes Tur, my doubles buddy in the Belgium league. Should be well accustomed to drawing to the house.
Your co-button smasher.
There you go. Oh, having to work this one hard.
Just needs to bite. Making the sweepers work. But it's a point anyway.
Yeah, and I'm always making him work when we play doubles, so I guess he's getting some of his own back there. I have been known to throw it to the sweepers, taking that to an extreme. So, but yeah, off to a flying start. It goes smack bang against my prediction there, I guess. But we'll see how Hennes will bounce back. Definitely a comfortable start there for Team Verreycken. You asked me the question before about any whom surprised me. I mean, were there any surprises for you or John this week?
I think I've expected a bit more from the mixed Austrian team. I think I've kind of noted them down as a team that for sure was probably going to qualify for the knockout stages. So I was a bit surprised they weren't able to get out of the group stage and get in those qualifiers. I am surprised that Team Carlit is in the semi-final because Euromix they maybe had a lucky draw against Euromix. They could have drawn against Verreycken, Schnupp, even Housekeepers. That would have been a harder draw. So the fact that they are in the semis is a pretty good achievement for that team, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd have to agree on all counts. I mean, obviously Team Austria without Hene, I think it was fair to say that her absence was felt, let's say. I mean, she's been unfortunately she got sick coming over here.
Yeah.
Not being able to play. So Team Verreycken slotted her in, so at least she could have a little bit of ice time, and it wasn't a totally wasted trip. But I think that really was a detriment for Team Austria, because just like you, I was really expecting them to do well. It shows how I kind of tried to balance the groups a little bit. And then Euromex was also a pleasant surprise. I mean, not all the best technicians, but really saw some good shots and some good team play. And I think they, they're totally unknown to me at the start, but definitely a good contender. And then, you probably talked about 3 Spanish teams being in one pool.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't the original intent. It was a bit of a scheduling and transportation issue there that we tried to accommodate. Initially, I did put them all in different pools, and that would have probably see us getting a different end result in these final stages as well. Yeah, because obviously, you got 3 out of 4 in one pool. I mean, there's a lot of chance some of them are going to break through. But yeah, it is what it is, and at the end, we still should be having some pretty decent matchups here, going into these semis and then finally into the final.
I think that's also whatever kind of format you pick or composition you pick. If you don't play every team, you can always make an argument for I had a better draw or a worse draw, but in the end, the winner is in most cases always the correct winner. So even with the Schenkel system or a group stage and knockout stage, there is no doubt that the team who is going to take the cup is going to be the deserved winner of this tournament.
So starting up the second end, it almost looks a little bit like a like a mixed double setup, right? Center guard, come behind. Hene is being heavy on 2 occasions. It's really not like them. Maybe they enjoyed our beer tasting session a little bit too much last night. I don't know, but
Yeah, how did it? What's kind of the origin story of the name, the Gouden Carolus Classic? How did you, as curling club Zemst, came up with the brewery as a partner for this tournament?
I have no idea. No, as you know, I'm not exactly the most longest standing member of the club. So I didn't manage the very first one. I think they just when they set up the club and set up some of the arrangements, got in touch with brewery Handshakes and just looked around for some sponsors to support that very first Bonspiel. And for many people, beer and curling kind of associates well, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So having a brewery as a sponsor, I guess, kind of works. And and it kind of went from there. So and we're still happy to be associated with them for sure. So yeah, they're very generous in providing some of the prizes, and yeah, that's. So meanwhile, I guess you could say it's our world famous beer tasting and pizza night on the Saturday evening of this Bonspiel. And as we might see, it might make it a little bit difficult for some teams playing in the semis the next morning at the crack of dawn. But it's all good fun. I mean, it's a competitive Bonspiel, but it's also a fun Bonspiel, right? We're kind of like in the middle there between a drinking Bonspiel and a highly competitive one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think in Belgium the real highly competitive tournament is the World Curling Tour in January, and then this is this kind of typical end of season Bonspiel where you want to be competitive, but you also want to have a great weekend of curling, kind of closing the 2023-2024 curling season.
Okay, knocks that one out. Still a little bit heavy, but proves the situation a little bit there for Hennes. Yeah, indeed. So we had a good second WCT event in January this year, which I was very pleased about. Unfortunately, we still haven't been able to get the ladies one off the ground, but so I'm kind of thinking of I might slot in a WCT mixed in there next year instead of the ladies event. I'm not sure if you heard, but I did an interview recently with Team Talon.
I didn't hear about that, no.
Yeah, I started. I got roped in by Bill Shearhart for his Behind the Pane of the Glass podcast. So me and Hans Vrouwenloop from New Zealand and a lady from the States were now, we got assigned as roving reporters. So whenever we have a topic from kind of our area, we do interviews, and then Bill hosted on his podcast.
Oh, cool.
So I did one with Harry Lill and Marie Calvé, who just got silver on the in the world mixed doubles a couple of weeks ago. Actually, a couple of weeks before they went to the Worlds, had an interview with them at length on mixed doubles and how they organize themselves, how they train, that whole shebang. So if you're really into mixed doubles, I urge you to look that up and have a listen.
Yes, mixed doubles. I mean, sometimes it's being kind of disposed as not the most famous format because it's not an Olympic format. And how is it growing as a format of mixed doubles? Because you still have the Worlds and all.
So mixed isn't Olympic, but mixed doubles isn't.
Oh yeah. I'm always confusing. Always mixing them up. But mixed doubles is kind of growing internationally as a. But do you have actually teams that have mixed doubles as their main goal, or is it like an on the side thing where you have players playing in the regular 4x4 and then also having a side activity in the main in the mixed doubles?
It's if you'll pardon the pun, it's a mix, right? So
yeah.
It's as I understand it, this was Warren Hansen was one of the originators of the format, and the intent was really to to be able to bring in up-and-coming curling nations, because for the regular format you need 4 players, maybe even 5 if you count the alternate, all being dedicated and all being decent for players. Whereas with mixed doubles you basically only need 2 individuals, right? So that's kind of the origin of the game, to be able to really grow it in maybe less traditional curling nations. Team Verreycken bouncing off that one, that's a bit unfortunate. And you kind of see that, right? I mean, Turkey has had a fairly decent mixed doubles team, and now, of course, Estonia with Marie and Harry. Okay, well, they featured their 4-man teams at a decent level, but definitely not a silver medal level like they just got in the World Mixed Doubles. So, and it's also, I mean, a lot of people have been talking about the length of the game, and that for the younger demographic, it needs to be, shorter and faster, and mixed doubles is definitely that, right? I mean, if you so I played a couple of WCT mixed with Hene this year. It's on a time clock and there's only 2 of you, so it is really fast paced, and yeah, if you're sweeping all of your own rocks on top of that, it's it gives you a bit of a workout for sure. So the strategy is a little bit less intricate maybe than in the 4-person game, but for sure it's an exciting format. It's fun to play. It's shorter, and like I said, it should give more of an opening to up-and-coming curling nations. I'm sorry, that was maybe a long-winded
No.
answer, but
It's we have a kind of a morning breakfast session. I think if you said curling could be a bit slow paced, but then again, it also is an opportunity to kind of have a stream / podcast kind of idea, because there is plenty of time to talk about the background of players, teams. Currently, Hene Schnupp setting 2 in the house, and this is feeling wide. And a missed takeout here from zoom in. Venture, the goat. What happened there?
Bit of a turnaround at this end, eh? I mean, Hene is being heavy on the first couple of shots, and looked like Verreycken was in the driving seat, and all of a sudden, Tur definitely doesn't look happy there.
No. Verreycken still 1 more stone to go, but giving up that kind of a bonus could be not the thing they wanted in the second end. They want to basically, I think, control the end, make sure Hene only scores 1 on their hammer, so they can stretch out their point leads. An opportunity here for the Swiss team to erase a little mistake in the first end and just come back and make this an exciting game.
Yeah, they just gotta make sure that wherever this one ends up, they don't want to show it too much to give Verreycken a hit opportunity.
Yeah.
So they really want to make sure they curl that in at the end. Yeah, lying 3 for sure, and grab some of that lead back, but okay. Well, if they were going to miss it, that was the way to miss it, right? But still.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, they still lose their second shot stone. Then again, the shot stone is more kind of tucked in on the pin, and I think that leaves Team Verreycken just to put up a draw. They can even tap the red stone a little bit to come shots. If they would make that shot, they get set up for a steal themselves here.
And again, Hene is being caught out on the speed, being heavy on that one. So that's like what, 3 or 4 shots in this end that they've been heavy. So okay, just in off. Tur has seen me play that one a couple of times.
Oh, look at that!
There you go.
What a great shot from Tur, and what a way to make up for that earlier miss with the takeout. And now it's basically a kind of a takeout, tap and roll stone for Hene Schnupp, but they can still maybe score 2, but that would be a very difficult one. I think they would just take the 1 here. A round of applause here at the canteen, as this was or one of our shot of the match candidates.
See if they can get the speed right on this one. All they need to do is bump that yellow a little bit right, and then they're good to go.
This looks good.
Yeah. No
One
mistakes there.
They perhaps hoped for more, but the Goat Tour managed to pull off a very good stone.
Just goes to show how often a game can swing to and fro, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Hene's being heavy on the first one. Looks like Verreycken was in the driving seat. All of a sudden, Hene's allowing 2. Possibility of 3 and guarding that up, and then they a little bit heavy and having to struggle or you know, just make do with their 1.
Gut. Ja, der Rest ist scheiße.
Overkill the touch, but still very decent center guard. Cooper's indicating it's heavy. Definitely don't want to stick that center guard. Yeah, ouch. Have you guys seen a lot of those this week due to the curl?
A couple, yeah, a couple.
Yeah, but it's WCTF rules. It's no-take rule. Yeah.
A little bit of a discussion there.
You can't move a stone touching the center line. Yeah, there was WCF rules are no-take.
I think there is a question about the application of WCF rules between 2 skips there.
Really? Yeah, then put it in the house and... Really? There was no
Yeah, but I don't know what the discussion is all about. It's pretty straightforward. Both teams should be well used to that. I mean, the non-offending skip that basically can decide what are they gonna do, right? Take the rock out, leave them as is.
For a double center guard here.
Yeah, leaving them staggered like this obviously gives Team Verreycken an opportunity to come right behind and then have that stone a little bit more protected.
Verreycken putting it on the pin there. It is a bit exposed though, so I think Hene Schnupp can still come in. Yep. Back weights takeout here. Well, it's not technically a takeout, but some back weights.
Yeah, with that kind of ice, they're probably just looking at bumping it a little. I think the importance is being slightly on the inside of that yellow rock.
This is a bit wide.
Yeah, that's definitely not where you want it to end up. So we did stand the stones on Thursday evening, but obviously a lot of play, and some of the curls starting to wear off. Let's see this morning just how much ice we clipped off.
Could use a little bit of curl there, but the main goal here is to get rid of the redstone. Now, is there an opportunity to kind of roll in to a shot position here?
Yeah, I mean, if they play the double, they lose their own rock, right? So it's just definitely a hit, slightly roll over to lie on top of the button. Just a board weightish shot, that really need a lot more. That's a big difference that you see with a lot of the better teams, right? All the way up to the top teams, obviously, that they vary a lot more on their hit weights, and they only go for the laser rockets when they really need to. So and it's really a skill, you know, being able to play some good hits with board or hack weight. Obviously, judging the line comes in a lot more because it curls more, but it well held there, but that's gonna roll.
Yeah.
That's gonna roll.
It's gonna roll, but for a moment there, I feared it would overcurl and crash into the guards, but sweepers were able to keep that one straight. And a quick update over on Sheet C, the other semi-final. Housekeepers playing against Puigcerda Carlit, and looks like Housekeepers are leading 2-0. They scored 2 in the first, and then there was a blank in the second end. So virtually we have a Belgian derby for the finals. Team Verreycken playing Housekeepers, but too early to call that shot, of course.
Haven't seen a lot of blanks this week, have we?
No.
No, we played one against Hene yesterday, and then this one is only the second one that I can recall. Oh, being deep again.
Yeah, I think in a tournament where ends and points could be important tiebreakers, especially in the group stage, then I think that's also maybe a reason not to go for blanks. I mean, if you have the same points, if you tie over a second and third position and it comes down to an end tiebreaker, then maybe you don't want to have that blank on the boards.
Absolutely, and that's the... Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a drawback, but that's the kind of funny angle to this kind of format, right? I mean, if you're playing with a time clock and it's ends and stones counting, you definitely you wanna keep on playing, and that's even if it's you then rack up some really high scores, which normally Spirit of Curling you would shake a little bit earlier, but yeah, you definitely see that in this kind of lineup.
That was the case yesterday with sliding ladies against Team Vuc. That was, I think, 11-2. Technically, Vuc was already lost, but they still played an extra end, or they still started the last end, because ends matter if they want to have a better final ranking. But that takes a bit away the suspense of the game, of course, because that end is basically just for administrative purposes.
So Verreycken again left that one exposed, opening the door again for Hennes. A hack weight being called for, so get that right and they will roll just on the top of the button, I guess.
Rolling hard for line here.
That's
And it is
really short.
matching the guard, and that is very unfortunate.
That would have been barely enough weight, so we would have gotten just beyond T-line, but yeah, again, line so important on these soft weight hits.
Yeah, and the miss was on the white side. I mean, it's better to at least get rid of the Yellowstone, because tapping the guard doesn't gain you that much value here. Coming in. They are looking at angles here. Is there a way to get to the pin, or are they going for a little bit of a takeout first? It's a tight draw there coming in between all of the stones and a sitting shot, I think.
Yeah, if you do decide to draw, you might just barely knock that left hand yellow as we look at it, but you probably roll over, so... They can get rid of a little bit of granite, and they have to, otherwise they're looking at a higher scoring end again. But they're still not going to be in scoring position after they get rid of some stuff, so we'll see what they can manufacture.
And good morning, Helle. Helle is asking who is it skipping there on the Belgium team. So the skip is Jeroen Spruit, but vice skipping with the grey cap is Hene.
Yeah, Hene Augustine is an American national, but she plays out of, well, she actually works in Salzburg at the university. And so she's been playing with the Austrian ladies team. She's played mixed in Austria. I think currently they're kind of pooling their players, so I'm not sure if she's still national team member right at this moment. But yeah, she's been playing out of Austria for a while. She's eligible not just because she lives there, but I think she has family connections on her parents' side. So yeah, and she was over here playing or intending to play with the mixed Austrian team, but unfortunately she caught a bug and wasn't able to play for the last couple of days. And yeah, she's well known to Team Verreycken.
Yeah, I think she's also well known to a lot of curling players here in Belgium. And also, she played the final last year in the Gouden Carolus Classic 2023, the Austrian women's team, wearing the retro jackets. I don't know if you recall that. They played the final against the four pioneers. That was Jeroen, Timo, Caro, and Mirte. Four pioneers ending up winning that final. So basically, Jeroen and Hene, they played the final last year, and they are here on the ice playing with Team Verreycken. As we see Ture rolling in. That was the shot Hene Schnupp was looking for earlier. Oh, and it is Mother's Day, and what a way to celebrate Mother's Day by having Tuur's mother, Griet, joining in today. Happy Mother's Day, Griet, and well, we'll try to get some real nice close-ups of Tuur the goat, especially for you.
Yeah, and just in the nick of time to see Tur play a nice draw to the button there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, indeed. And also the previous end, see him throw a couple of real nice stones. Tur playing 4th right now for Team Verreycken. So his career is really skyrocketing here.
Okay, this is damage control for Hennes. They really need to lock that one on.
And comes in right. They need to hold this.
It's gonna
Great.
curl and short.
In 4 foot, but it's hard to kind of see from the overhead whether it's 3rd shot or 4th shot. Well, they need to measure at some point. Of course, still a stone to go, so stones will move. But yeah, that stone was a bit short, over curled, and an opportunity here for Team Verreycken to score a couple of points again. And not the greatest start here for the Swiss team. Heinz and Heinz, they are all called Heinz, going by the names on their shirts, except for the Tiger.
And so going in the hole or just nicking the red one, gonna rack up another big score.
Excellent shot here. Even kisses the red one. And now 3 points for yellow. And Griet saying at least somebody remembers the Mother's Day. So that is shots fired here. But I'm sure Tur remembers. Sure, he will bring some, I don't know, chocolates and flowers or something else.
Or he can claim that he's from Antwerp, right? Because there we
that's
celebrate
true.
Mother's Day on the 15th of August.
Yeah, there's still that. Again, 3 points for Team Verreycken. Things are looking good for John's prediction here. I think we went for the potential dark horse, Hene Schnupp, but Team Verreycken leading 6-1 right now, and big scores for Team Verreycken. They also won 13-1 in their quarter final against La Tosa. I think they had some big scores in the group stage, so they are showing why they are team unbeaten here in Belgium on their home ground, home ice, so to say. Glass Hoog Rangers so far is the only team that managed to tie against Verreycken. All of the others lost. And it was a close call also in the New Year's Cup.
And truthfully, it's a correct distinction, right? I mean, the amount of time they put in, the talent they have on the team, it's they're on top of the Euro B group, have aspirations to go to A, and it shows, you know, whatever they put in is coming out. So there's really a big gap between them and some of the other Belgian teams. So any team can have an off day, or someday when some of the players are not clicking, firing on all cylinders. But yeah, overall, I think you can state that they're definitely a way ahead of the pack.
Yeah, how do you see that progressing in the coming years? Because you're also kind of the unofficial coach of the Desperate Housekeepers. Desperate Housekeepers kind of considered the contestant for the national team. They played the challenge against Team Verreycken this season. Do you see Desperate Housekeepers becoming their main contender for the coming years?
Well, I'm not sure how much you follow that story, but earlier on in the year, I kind of bowed out of helping them anymore. I mean, I had a lot of work commitments, and I couldn't put in the time that I really wanted to. So, we parted ways a little bit. I mean, they definitely still have the potential. They have some technical stuff to work on for sure. If they have a really good day, they can probably beat most of the teams, if not all of them, in Belgium. But it all depends on how much of an effort you put in there, right? And
they have been second in the Belgium Curling League A for
2 years running now.
2 years running, yeah. So I think they've kind of claimed that spot as a runner-up within Belgium. But then can they make kind of the step up towards really becoming the main contender here? Speaking about Desperate Housekeepers, let's have a quick peek on what is happening over on Hene, because we have another semi-final going there. Housekeepers playing against Puigcerda Carlits, and looks like Housekeepers, they are leading 5-0. So they are kind of 1 foot into the final. And also Verreycken leading here against Hene Schnupp.
Yeah, leading handsomely, I guess is the term, right? 6-1. I mean, a lot can happen. We've seen a couple of weird swings, right?
Yeah, there was the steal of 4 yesterday in the Carlit Euromax game.
That's for sure. What we've seen today, Hennes, I think we can safely say they're not actually playing their best from what we've seen from them. So, and Verreycken pretty solid as usual. So maybe we need to change that hashtag to John's not wrong.
Yeah, true. Although in the overall prediction score I am still leading, so could be just a lucky pick there. Although I think going for Verreycken is an understandable pick for this game. Yeah, the thing is, if you're playing against a strong team, sometimes you can feel like you're struggling, but then again, yeah, you're always in a difficult position. You're always trying to chase, trying to turn the initiative to your side. You're never kind of in a comfortable seat where you just kind of control the game, put an extra guard. So if you have to make those difficult shots over and over and over, chances are there are a couple of misses.
Yeah, and once you start playing teams of a decent level, it's not even misses, right? You make a half miss, a half shot, and they're able to capitalize on it and turn it around. So
yeah, a half decent draw that peaks out could be a good stone that brings you the end. But against a good team, they might just take it out with a hack weight. So then again, against a good team, it feels like that was not good enough.
yeah, and I know Team Verreycken, they probably, again, they practice a lot, take their practice probably to another level compared to most Belgian teams. So you see them sometimes even at some of the rocks that are, half frozen, and that you think, okay, well, that's going to stay there. Well, they're able to clip it out anyway. So yeah, it's apart from most Belgian teams, a bit of a different level. And Hene's desperately trying to create some space there.
Yeah. Yeah, and 5 points is a lot to catch up, and knowing this is not an 8-ender, less than half an hour to play, it will be difficult to kind of come back. They would really need kind of a big end here to make things exciting. And for Team Verreycken, that's basically their main battle plan here. Just try and avoid Hene Schnupp from scoring a lot of points. They can even allow them to score 1 or 2 in exchange for the hammer.
Yeah, indeed, 6 ends is not a whole lot of time, right? I mean, if both teams play a fast game and there's a couple of ends with a lot of takeouts, then you could squeeze it out to 7 ends. But with that time limit, yeah, we've seen most matches go to 6, and that's about it. Of course, the final will be 8 ends.
Yeah.
With an extra if there's a draw. But yeah, with 3 sheets of ice, 16 teams, we kind of opted for the time limits to make it workable. That also makes it more predictable for our ice makers when they can slot in, because we do want to do more than just a pebble and scrape throughout the whole day. So every 2 matches minimum. We had a full scrape, fully prepared the ice again to give the teams a good, solid, consistent playing surface.
Excellent takeout here from Hene Schnupp. Yeah, and I think as a tournament director, you can probably confirm, but squeezing in 16 teams in a tight schedule of 3 days and making sure that the time is respected and every game can start on the correct time, that is a big challenge. That's not always as easy.
No, and you wanna. Again, we then do a match guarantee as well, which you kind of have to factor in. I mean, I'd love to do like some of the triple knockout systems and stuff that you sometimes see in Canada. Some players do like it, but it does not guarantee you the same amount of games, and it also makes it much more unpredictable because you never know when you're going to be playing, right? And you're going to be playing in the A level, or dropping down to B or C, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, we do think it's important to give teams these certain amount of games, because obviously foreign teams traveling, they do want to get some value for their money, and then we also want to provide a good ice surface. So yeah, for the moment that's what we're going with. That's the best balance that we found.
Yeah, I think you guys did a great job on that. You can kind of see proof of a nice curl conditions here, as we see a great draw here for Team Verreycken. And again, it's up to Hene Schnupp to make sure Team Verreycken is not stealing this end here. They really need the points, and 2 would be a minimum, I'd say.
Yeah, and they were in a bit of a bad position in this end at the beginning, but now they really need to start lobbing in some rocks into the house, because they need a lot of points, right? And right now they have no rocks in scoring position.
And this comes around nicely past the guards, stops just over T-line. Jeroen trying to sweep it as deep as possible, and it is sitting. Is it shot? I think it's hard from this angle, but I think red is shot, but it is behind T-line, so it is an opportunity here for Team Verreycken to come over and freeze up against it, take it out of play, and have an extra stone in the house, reducing scoring area here for Hene Schnupp.
Yeah, Hennes did well to hold that. That was a really tight line, but obviously that made it also go a little bit deep.
Yeah, but they had to sweep it, I think. Crashing into the guard was no option here. It's better to come around and sit in the good spots.
Yeah, that's what I'm not one to exaggerate and overstate, but that's what I meant by it being a tight line.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. And there, that's gonna bump off. And knocks.
Almost taps in red, but red is not in the house. And now, unfortunately, yellow bumps towards the center line, which makes it a usable stone to reach that stone sitting behind the center guards. We'll see what Hene Schnupp is going to do here.
Yeah, they're just gonna draw one more, try and build up some
Getting stones in there.
rocks on that side of the house. Not sure if it's not too late in the end to do that, right? I mean, the draw to the button is still there. Over on the other side of the sheet.
Has plenty of space here, so it's all about the weight. And they get it.
And gotta leave that high.
There's still a gap between the stones, and it kind of leaves a maybe a tap and roll. Some hack weight here. Yep. I think that's what Jeroen is pointing out. So final stone here for Team Verreycken as Hene Schnupp is sitting 1. But the second shot, the yellow one, could be taken out of play with the final stone for Hene Schnupp. So important stone here for Team Verreycken. Make this count and avoid Switzerland from coming back in the game here.
Yeah, it's curling pretty aggressively on that side. So, I mean, the ice looks about right, but it's all about the speed, this one.
Yeah, remember yesterday when sliding ladies had issues. But this is perfect. Yeah. Getting around 2 guards, making the tap and rolling gently towards the center. And 2 red stones out of play. Great shot here from Tuur. Excellent shot. And you can see not a lot of options for Hene Schnupp. Happy faces over on Team Verreycken side as they can kind of smell their spot in the final stages of Gouden Carolus Cup 2024. Yeah, what do you do now, Sir Hennes?
Draw to the button, like I said earlier, still there as a last shot. So,
yeah,
but
it's not something you like to do. I mean, kind of forced to draw for 1 against a couple of yellow stones. Also, the shot stones sitting there, tucked away in the forefoot, making it very hard to do a better draw. This has to be close to perfection, and even if they pull off a perfect draw, it will just reward them with 1 point. So it's kind of a bitter reward here. This one is over curling, and then we'll have to count the damage for Hene Schnupp. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. I think it was 3. And that's a steal of 3. Oh, not the best draw here. Coming short. A little bit of a regrouping here over on Hene's side. What went wrong here?
Yeah, some smiling faces over on the right-hand side, so it looks like desperate housekeepers are also in the driving seat in that one.
Yeah, have a quick peek over on the board there as they finished their 4th end. And indeed, Puigcerda Carlits only scoring 1 on their hammer, so housekeepers leading 5-1. Comfortable lead there.
Yeah, and Verreycken still respecting the opponent, so not putting anything in the house. Still putting up a guard. And it's going straight into the house. I'm not sure what the amount of points they are behind, if that's really that's super defensive.
Trying to draw behind the yellow guard there. It's a bit heavy.
Even if they would have had that perfectly covered, would have been a straight bump back for Team Verreycken. So I think they're just coasting it out, because if you really want to try and catch up, you would have put some guards or even some double guards up at the beginning.
Yeah, I think allowing Team Verreycken to steal 3 could have been the final nail in the coffin. Because I don't see them coming back from a 9-1 scoreboard here. And not many mistakes over on Team Verreycken sides, and that also kind of weighs into the decision how bigger chances of winning this game if you know your opponent doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. Then you can feel the window of opportunity is very small.
Yeah, Verreycken got them by the jugular with that 3-ender in the beginning and just never let go.
Yeah. Excellent draw here again. Bit deep, but nicely tucked away around the guard here. And
still can catch that with a hack though.
yeah.
Giving a little bit more ice than on the previous ones.
Oh, unfortunately, clipping the guard there, allowing Redstone to stick, and now Hene will follow up with a second draw. Try to build up a couple of redstones in the house there.
Did you say Hene or Hannah?
I say Hene. Yeah, Hene Schnupp. Yeah, Hene. It's very close. I'll call them Schnupp to avoid a bit of confusion there. Also tapping the guard there.
Yeah, both teams being caught out by the amount of curl going to the wings.
I think Team Verreycken setting up for a double takeout here, potentially. By the tap on the shoulder. Hene wants to throw some weight on this one. Calling for line here. Tuur keeping this one straight.
Yeah, just normal takeout weight. I mean, even just taking out the one, it didn't need to be a double. You're just running Hennes out of rocks and. They want rocks in place, and the rest they can really roll that one over. They're going to be exposed and leaving Verreycken with a clear takeout again.
Can use a bit of a roll here.
Too much.
Yeah. Yeah, Skip called it off.
Yeah. I can stay there, but again, same story. Verreycken gets rid of one and just running Hennes out of rocks. Alright, we're going to say Schnupp, right?
Yeah, yeah, true.
Double is there as well on the run back.
Stone for Jeroen. Taking a little moment there to focus. I think Jeroen is considered one of the best players here in Belgium. Has been a player of the year in Belgium for, I think, a couple of seasons in a row now.
Very solid on these. I played with Jeroen and Hene and Caro in the Dolomites just over a month ago, I think. And yeah, he doesn't miss a lot of these, right?
No. Yeah, you also were the coach of the Belgian mixed team in was in October last year in was it Dumfries?
No, Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, yeah.
Yeah, that was a privilege and a very very nice experience. Team got 5th there, which was a really good result. They were a little bit surprised. I always saw them be able to get to that stage, and yeah, really. Anytime you can get to a World Championships, be it even the ones that are considered maybe a little bit of the lesser level, like the World Mixed or the World Seniors, it's always a pretty awesome experience, both as a player or as a coach. So real privilege to be there. Also, always a very good opportunity to see friends, right? Because you start playing at that level, you make connections with players from all over. Both players and administrators. It's always good catching up with folks, and one of the experiences there being on the coaches bench was really nice. I was right next to the commentators, Rona Howie. So we're having some good exchanges off mic as the match was going on. So that was real good fun. Yeah. Again, that was heavy board, if not control, but getting the line right. Verreycken doesn't mind staying in the open.
No. It's kind of teasing Schnupp to throw some takeouts. I think at this point, Schnupp just wants to win the end, and don't know how much time there is on the clock if they will manage to get a 6th in, but I think they probably will. This is a well-paced game so far. You see both teams here have experience with maintaining a good team routine. Not a lot of time wasted on small things. But yeah, as you said, I think that's what also makes curling a very nice sport. There is an opportunity to wear your nation's jersey on an international event, Euros or Worlds, even if you didn't picked up the sports at a young age. I think, comparing it to other sports like football or basketball, or you can't decide to start picking up football in your late 30s and still going to international tournaments.
Yeah, and at the World Seniors, you do have that kind of a mix, right, of players that have taken it up a little bit late in life, but you also encounter all of these people that have world and Olympic gold and silver medals like 20, 30 years ago. So yeah, it's really a pretty awesome experience. Yeah, the Canadians always talk about wearing the maple leaf on your back, but for sure, I guess that goes for any team. Being able to wear your national colors, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and it's a great experience for sure.
And I think every time you say I play curling, then people around you would say, "Oh, I didn't know that sport existed in Belgium." And then if you kind of follow up with, "Yeah, I'm playing for the national team. I'm going to the European Championships in a month," then suddenly that changes the whole the whole discussion, the whole conversation. Because wow, you're apparently a top athlete, which is not necessarily the case. But yeah, just the claim that you are part of a national team brings some weight to the sport.
What are you saying, Pim? We are top athletes.
Yeah.
No, I mean you've seen that at the top level of the game the last couple of years. Sometimes when I do a clinic, I joke about, look up the YouTube videos from the 50s and 60s, and people were on the ice with a cigarette and a glass of whiskey. That definitely isn't the case anymore, right? I mean, the top players, they're on the ice, anywhere between 2 and 4 hours a day. They're in the gym 5-6 times a week. Even though curling doesn't pull in the big bucks, I mean, they're top athletes just like any other sport. And you kind of see that trickling down to the lower levels as well, for sure.
Test abreißen. Aber noch einfacher ist, wenn ich zuerst abreiße. Der geht nicht.
Yeah, that yellow quite high, so even if Hene takes it out, I'm not sure how much opportunity they have to roll and kind of bury it.
Yeah. And you can see, since we are on television, there's a TV hanging in the venue, and then you can see players kind of having a peek at situation in the house just by watching the TV. Or there's also some kind of a slow delay, so if you have a great shot, people would kind of turn their heads and watch the replay. Sometimes it's funny.
Yeah, it's also nice as a coach, right? You're behind in the warm room, and you're maybe entering your team's details in Curlit or whatever tool you use to get the statistics and stuff. And if you miss the start or you can't quite see it at the away end, you just look back at the camera with a couple of seconds delay, and it's like, oh, there you go. Yeah, super nice.
Live replays here at Curling Club Zemst. Very nice takeouts, I'd say. I mean, they're sitting 2 stones behind the guard, and 3 points for Schnupp. And is this the start of a miracle comeback, or is that just hypecasting?
Sure. Yeah, for sure another contender for shot of the match, right?
Yeah.
Getting rid of 2 yellows. Ending up with a 3.
Yeah. A 5-point lead here for Team Verreycken going into the last end. And every time Team Verreycken has a 5-point lead and the victory is very close, we always tend to remind them of the World Curling Tour event in Belgium 2023, where they had a 5-point lead in the knockout stage against Team Hertman. And then, well, I think I can spoil the result, but Team Hertman was able to come back in that game.
And playing with Team India, we also gave him a 4-ender, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
it can happen. I mean, there is always the slight off chance of things like that happening, and we had a 7-ender here this weekend in the Gouden Carolus 2024. I think it was Team Verreycken who scored 7 against the mixed team Austria. Team Austria scoring 1. And they've put up their 1 on the scoreboard, but they've kind of tilted the 1 a little bit, making it look like a 7 to confuse people. But I guess they jinxed their own destiny there, because Verreycken followed up with a real 7. When did they make a 4 house? Apparently. Let's have a quick peek. Oh, it was 4 in the 4th end, so not a 5-point lead, but a 6-point lead. And there we go.
Yeah, get your math straight there, Pim.
Yeah. It's good that we have people double checking. So Team Verreycken leading 10-4. Speaking about 4-ends, I also spotted a 4 over on the scoreboard on sheet C, as the housekeepers scored 4 in their 5th end. They lead against Puigcerda Carlit. So leading 9-1 there over on sheet C. We are going to have an all-Belgian final here at the Gouden Carolus Classic. 3 Belgian teams in the knockouts versus 5 international teams, but 2 of the Belgian teams managed to reach the final. I think for people that aren't following the Belgian curling scene that close, I think it's fair to say that Belgian curling is growing. The quality of the Belgian teams is growing each year, basically. I think both the federation and the club are doing great efforts, making great efforts to help this sport grow. Comparing it to a couple of years ago, it's a total different story here in Belgium.
Yeah, and it's not just the membership growing, right? But I mean, having the dedicated ice facility in Zemst has really made a difference. I mean, you know, a lot of the time Belgian teams, they play each other, and it might not be that noticeable. But the moment you then go and play Bonspiels or even higher level, WCT events and stuff, you go and play these abroad, you really start noticing that the level overall in Belgium curling is starting to go up, which is also obviously very nice to see.
Mm-hmm. I think that just indeed makes the argument that having dedicated ice, having also a self-managed club that is not depending on an overarching venue or organization really helps the sport grow. And it was not an easy road. The current club Zemst started from a kick fundraising campaign. And the COVID years were challenging to keep this club alive, but luckily we are past that and we are growing again.
Yeah, and it's building the sport up from the grassroots, right? It's what they talk about in other countries. You're really building it from the base up. We're relying very heavily on our volunteers, and we do know that we stretch them a bit, but because the amount of people we have come through the door for clinics and stuff, it's really mind-boggling. Whenever you tell somebody that last year we had about 10,000 people visiting the club for clinics, learn to curls, that's a pretty amazing number. Helps us pay the bills, but for sure it really draws super heavily on our volunteer resource, and we can't thank them enough.
Yes. The silent workforce behind everything in Belgium curling here. And you can see also formats like the Belgium Cup used to be a closed format. Now it's an open format where new teams can join. And it's I think a nice step up from kind of teams that did a clinic or an initiation. They kind of liked the game element, the competitive element. Maybe the step up towards kind of signing up with a team in the Belgium League is very high, but then entering an open tournament like the Belgium Cup kind of proved to be successful over the years. And we had a couple of teams that continued and then followed up with a sign up in the Belgian League. Smerig Slogsen, for instance, but maybe in the future we'll have more people rolling into the sport.
Yeah, it's all about, trying to make that threshold as low as possible, right? And we've seen in the past that people, they've come in for a clinic, they do like the sport. Oh, nice.
Great stone. Clicking that one as a potential shot of the match. Maybe not shot of the match, but definitely one of the highlights of this game so far. An excellent draw coming around those guards and coming into the forefoot, very close to the pin, sitting shot right now. Tucked behind their guards, setting up for a steal here.
Yeah, me as a left-hander coming out the right-hand hack, I'd probably be able to clip that and just squeeze it out there with a peelish kind of weight. But obviously, yeah, as a right-hander, you're coming from the other hack, that opportunity is a lot tighter.
And so how difficult is it to kind of get people to join the sport? Because you mentioned 10,000 people visiting current Club Zemst over the course of a year, but there is still kind of a gap between having a fun team activity and then really kind of engaging in the sport. It's not because you go paintballing or bowling, you would decide, okay, this is going to be my destiny and my new career.
Yeah, indeed, and you get that a lot, right? I mean, people, they walk out the door, most of them said they enjoyed it or even really enjoyed it, but then, what does it take to for them to take that next step? And I mean, financials might come into it. For a lot of people, it's time. They already play other sports, have family commitments, whatever. So for sure, we can definitely do more to try and pull these people back in. we try to do that a little bit by bridging the gap between membership and not being a member by offering these, some a small series of lessons that kind of follow up from a basic learn to curl. But still, there's we can do more to pull people in. But like everything, it requires some resources and time. And like I said, everybody, both on the board and some of the members chipping in for the learn to curls, it's all on a voluntary basis. So there's it's just not enough hours in the day because all of us have day jobs, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's not just a challenge for Curling Club Zems, but I think also for the sport in general, for curling to kind of grow the sports, bring in members, because it sometimes is a bit of a closed sport. It's played in a closed arena, windowless, so I think people living around the venue not always know what's happening within the building, so kind of creating exposure for the sports. I think also a challenge for the World Curling Federation, getting it out there.
Yeah, we do have venues that have windows, but that poses different challenges, right? I mean, people can look outside, but then for the ice, especially when it gets sunny, it's not always that nice to maintain a good quality ice pad. But no, for sure, I mean, that's indeed, you talked about the Belgian Cup, that's definitely can draw in some teams that may not play curling regularly. I've been thinking about, because we don't have a lot of open slots anymore, right, with all of these learn to curls.
Oh yeah.
But stick curling might be an option where we pull in people, because then you need minimal amount of instruction, and it could almost be like, they come in and rent a sheet, and you don't want them to do full curling, because with the sliding and everything, there's a safety aspect, and it does require some instruction. But stick curling has that a little bit less so. It needs a little bit less guidance to get people up and playing, and that might be a potential step to get them in the door and to get them to continue to come back. So there's quite a lot of things that we can look at going forward, for sure.
Going into the final stages of this end. Schnupp still sitting one there. Potential steal. Obviously, that's not enough to get them into the gold medal game, the big final. And with those two Yellowstones, I think Verreycken secured their spot.
Need to go hard for line there. Okay, curl. Just a little bump is going to be enough.
Oh,
Ooh,
forget what I said. I think yellow is sitting shot right now. And it leaves Schnupp just with one more option to make a draw for one. An excellent stone here for Tuur. You can see Tim also joining us today. Saying yes, dedicated ice is such a game changer. That is true. And the housekeepers game against Puigcerdá Carlit has ended. Looking at the faces of the housekeepers, they have won the game. So we have confirmation on that. Housekeepers is the first team to qualify for the big final, the Gouden Carolus 2024, and the final is at 1:30.
I think do we have it at 1 or 1:30?
1 or 1:30, yeah.
I should know this, but there you go.
Yeah, same for me, but I just forgot about all of these times. We see the draw rolling in. Needs to curl a lot, but it could also use a tap. But is it going to be enough? It has a bit of backing. It is. And excellent draw here. Still a follow-up stone for Team Verreycken, but very, very good draw for the skip of Team Schnupp. A better draw than the draw back in the fourth end where they left it short. Now, is there a takeout here for a couple of points? I think there is an option.
Just gonna draw in, try and bump that one back.
Not going for a spectacular shot of the match, but going for the win here, or at least winning the end. And no, this one over girls. Jeroen calling off the sweepers. And we're looking at it. As in the background.
That one for sure.
Yeah, they're not entirely sure. So it seems. I mean, I was leaning towards yellow being the shot stone. Well,
me not so much, but it is super tight. Yeah.
Yeah, it is tight. I mean, definitely handshakes are in place because Team Verreycken, they won the game, but both stones are dope. I heard somebody say eins. Well, definitely it's eins for somebody. I am going to guess and assume it was one yellow, but not sure if they are going to put up the scoreboard. Obviously not. That's something you tend to forget about when the game's over. But assuming that was one yellow, it doesn't change that much in terms of the end result, of course. It's a victory here for Team Verreycken as they will join the housekeepers in the final of the Gouden Carolus Classic 2024. And we can hop back to the booth. So yeah, exciting game. Not as exciting as a couple of games before. Team Verreycken, they have shown they are the best team on their home ground once more. Can they take another tournament? They already have World Curling Tour in their pockets for the season. They have the New Year's Cup. Can they extend that with another cup? They're
just gobbling it all up, right? And so in football it's a hat trick. So this looks like it could be their curling hat trick for this season for sure.
Oh yeah, and John is saying it was one red, so I'm changing the scoreboard. You can't see it, so I'm just doing that for the because it's in my routine, I guess. But yeah, it was one red, so not one yellow, one red, which means that the final score is now 10-5 for Team Verreycken. Still a win, of course. And what was your take on the game?
Yeah, a little bit surprising. I was really looking for this to be a super close game with the kind of level of play that Hene has displayed throughout the week. They were kind of, notching up their level near the end of the game, but it was a little bit too late, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I think the 3 points in the first end, and again 3 points in the third end was very very deadly. We had a high expectations from Schnupp. They started the tournament extremely strong. I think they won 13-1 against the Grey Ducks, or at least something in that ballpark figure. Yeah. So at that point after that game, John and I were like, is this team going to be much stronger than everybody expects? And they did a fantastic group stage coming into this knockout stage. Also in the quarter finals, they were able to win against, I don't really recall who they played against Scandalicious. Yeah, they won against Scandalicious, and then Team Verreycken is a hard seeding. But yeah, they tried their best, and they can leave the tournament, I guess, with a good feeling. Semi-final is still a great spot, and they play the bronze medal game later today against Puig Cerda Carlit.
Yeah, and credit where credit is due. I mean, Team Verreycken played a super solid game today. Didn't miss a lot of shots. If they did miss them, they missed them on the pro side. So Hennes really needed to be on top of their game to make it a close fought battle, and unfortunately for them, that wasn't the case today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we can close down the stream right now. We have 2 more games coming up. We have a 7th placement game, and that is the Canadians. That's your team, and that's you me. Play against. Did you scout them already?
One of the Spanish teams. We'll just play our best and have a good fun game. It's a team we haven't played before, so
yeah. I think it's La Tosa, right?
Yeah, La Tosa.
Yeah. Indeed. So Puig Cerda La Tosa, a Spanish team against Canadians. Unfortunately, we did not have Puig Cerda, Puig Pedros on stream. They kind of dodged all of the stream slots, but then we had a lot of Spanish teams.
Maybe they're just camera shy.
Yeah, could be. It could very well be. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you can see you in our next games, and of course later today in the big final, the Belgian Derby. Team Verreycken against the Desperate Housekeepers. A repetition of the challenger for the national team. Can they get their revenge today by winning the Gouden Carolus Cup, or will Team Verreycken defend their home ground once more? We'll know in a couple of hours, but until then, have some breakfast. I'm gonna have a coffee. I'm gonna prepare for the next game, and good luck to you, Gerry, in your next game.
Thanks so much. Take care.